All right. You can't see him because he's just below empty. I got a Dante. Yep. Yesterday he was chasing me all over the house. This morning he was laying on the chewy paper and I tossed him his catnip pillow and he was talking to me and I said, okay, it's time to go do the live stream. And he beat me in the room. And so now he's laying here purring. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. So you're doing Hidden Power of the Bible, which used to be called In Light of the Bible in Light of Religious Science. Kind of an awkward title, right? But, you know, he wrote it in the 1920s, I think. So here we are. Now, okay, let's do the housekeeping and then we'll get on to the power of the Bible. Which I'm now abbreviating the titles because the titles of the articles are really, really long. So, but I'm giving you enough of a title that you should be able to figure out what we're talking about. Okay, so all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email info@creativelife.org. Get you one email a week. Tell us what's going on for the week and the month. And the hot links are hot. So, the hot links are hot. Yeah. Hot links are hot. Click here now means it, and it's a blind CC. Nobody will see your email. Okay, since my mind just utterly blanked out. Yeah, let's talk about the social media merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize it. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So we ask you instead to go like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual post by reacting, commenting, sharing. It bumps us in the algorithms and more people see our stuff. So a free and easy way that you can support the center, yes, I'm trying to get you a cameo here, is, he's drooling on me. You're drooling on me. Is by engaging with our social media. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or the Creative Life Spark. And I'm the running Rev Ryan across all the social medias that I am on. He drools. He's an enormous cat, too. I know I've told you he's 15 pounds. So he's great big. See, he's a great big baby. He's a great big baby, aren't you? Okay. All right. I'm going to need my hand in a minute. Not that you care. So the hidden power of the Bible, Ernest loved Jesus. Ernest, and rightly so. Ernest quotes the Bible a lot. Now, most of the time he doesn't tell you he's quoting the Bible, but 100 years ago, people quoted the Bible all the time, and people would understand, oh, you're quoting the Bible, and two, they would know where it came from. There weren't as many books around. So, you tended to memorize the ones that were, which that was the main one. So what he did in this book is he pulled out what he thought was the most relevant stories that have something to say to us today. So, or what you might say is he picked out his favorites. So we have, and he also is doing kind of this two sides of the same coin with Moses and Jesus. Moses the lawgiver, Jesus the love teacher. Now we have done the Hebrew Testament. We are now in the Christian Testament. Yesterday we read Matthew, one line in Matthew 4 and then all of Matthew 5, or not all of Matthew 5, but a lot of Matthew 5. Especially including the Beatitudes, because that's where he started. And I find it very interesting that, he starts off talking about the Beatitudes. Because I find it really interesting that, that everybody wants to post the 10 Commandments in schools and not the Beatitudes. Because the Beatitudes are actually Christian. But, that's neither here nor there. For the purposes of this, that's also me being snarky, and that's probably the Buddhist would say that is self-abuse. Sarcasm is self-abuse. So, okay. So, the two that we are going to do today are we shall not live by bread alone, and the meek shall inherit the earth. So, The line, yes, man shall not live by bread alone, but people shall not live by bread alone. What did he teach? It is written that people shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and it only shalt thou serve. Okay, God only shalt thou serve. This is a repetition of the teaching of Moses, whose thoughts centered around the same thing. God is one. Humanity is the product of this one and comes to it themselves only as they approach the one. Humanity lives by and through the one, ever and always. Who eats of bread alone, even though they add meat and vegetables, will continually hunger. To the physical benefits of the human must be added the spiritual strength of the divine wisdom. Okay. Let me go back because I didn't know where that sentence was going, so it caught me off guard. To the physical benefits of the human born must be added the spiritual strength of divine wisdom. Basically, it's that whole. It kind of goes back to that whole free choice thing or free will thing. You can take care of the physical needs all you want, but you've got to give the mind and soul something to do. So they need stimulation. They need work. They need something to contemplate. You've got to feed the soul as well as the body to make a well-rounded person. Okay? People shall not live by bread alone, right? The poor in spirit receive the kingdom of heaven before the proud and arrogant. And how rich is this kingdom compared to human possessions? The mourners shall be comforted and the tears of sorrow wiped away by the realization of God's presence when their thought is upward bent and their eyes towards heaven. Now, that does not wipe away the inequities. That does not say that, we shouldn't work to make everybody's life better, okay? But if you are not caught up in the material world, you are much more likely to be happy. I'm not saying that you don't participate because I'm not advocating asceticism, but what I'm saying is that you do what you need to do in the material world, but you also are feeding your mind and your soul. You are more likely to be happy than the people who are just running the rat race and living in the grind. So it is about looking beyond the material world for reasons of being happy. Because honestly, the material world will never make you truly happy. Does it contribute to it? Absolutely. And should we work on making everybody's life better? Absolutely. Maslow's ladder, your basic needs have to be met so that you can then turn around and focus on your spiritual needs. So, if we can give everybody the baseline, then everybody can work on the spiritual and we might all be happier. So, we don't live on bread alone. We need more than that. And we were created that way. All right, so let's tackle the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. This is a teaching of non-resistance. Okay. Warlords and plunderers of human possessions have come and gone. Kingdoms have risen only to crumble in dust and become numbered with past events. Passion and lust for power have strewn the earth with destruction. It would seem as though the meek had lost out in the titanic struggle for temporal supremacy. In the midst of this drama of human existence, Jesus declared that the meek shall inherit the earth. Let us inquire if his teaching was a true one. Do we teach our children to follow the steps of a Caesar and a Napoleon? Or do we tell them the story of Jesus and Buddha? The cross is mightier than the crown, and we teach our children that love masters everything. The meek shall inherit the earth, to whom have our artists turned for inspiration and that quickening power that enables them to depict the ideal. Not to the warlords, nor even the captains of industry, but to the meek. And I want to point out to you one of the things that Jesse says about the word meek is it does not mean weak. It means teachable. Okay? It's talking about people who can change their mind. What characteristics are set before us as being worthy? Have not faith and belief in the divine goodness been the theme of our greatest singers, who could write a beautiful story about hell? But heaven and love have inspired thousands to the uplifting of humanity. Jesus was right when he said the meek shall inherit the earth. They have done so and will continue to do so. So I would argue that I can go back to my original statement on that humanity cannot live on bread alone. The meek shall inherit the earth because they are the ones who are going to be more likely to be spiritually happy. They are the ones who are not caught up in the material world. They are not caught up in the struggle for power. They are the ones who look around and see the beauty, who see the divine looking back at them. When they look at any living being's eyes, they see the divine everywhere that they look. So they see the beauty in the world. I like that he said, the line about destruction is like, all of this has just led to, the struggle for power has just led to destruction. I don't have a better way, but I know that there's got to be a better way. Cooperation and, yeah. So, yeah. Here I'm thinking about it, and it's, yeah. If you want to be true, I'm not saying you can't be happy in the material world. What I'm saying is, to be truly happy, you have to look beyond the material world. I'm not saying that the material world does not contribute, because, oh my God, do I love my cats. But when I look in their eyes, I see the divine looking back at me, and that is part of that happiness. So, understanding that they are gifts from the divine. They're gifts from the divine to the divine. And that is part of that happiness. And it's not about, the material is nice. I'm not going to badmouth it or shame anybody for chasing the material. We all do it. What I'm saying is that while we are looking at the material, we also want to look beyond. And the meek shall inherit the earth, because the meek will be able to look beyond the material and find the beauty and find the love and find the happiness that people focused on the material just never will, until they choose meekness. And again, I'm going to remind you, meekness is not weakness. In fact, I would say that of the two, the meek are the stronger, because they're not caught by the material and they are willing to look beyond into the spiritual. All right. I'm going to move on into the process of my day, so I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. Yeah, let's wrap this week up day. A drink plenty of water day, a beware of the heat day, a dance in the rain if you get it day, a stay out of the thunderstorms if you get them day, a hey, This is the time of year where the clouds are really amazing day, so look up day. The cloud artist, on point lately. Been really good clouds lately. A cuddle your fur babies day, tell somebody you love them day, a do what you gotta do day. I think I said wrap this week up, but I'm serious. Let's wrap this week up because it's been a week. A take care of yourself day, and do something nice for somebody else day, and make sure you make time to sit down and rest day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because like I said, it's been a week, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time at your own pace. Why that's important to me is because comparison is the thief of joy. So don't compare your masterpiece to anybody else's. It's yours. All right, beloveds. And you get to keep working on it for as long as you want. That's the amazing thing. Okay, and as Reverend Jesse says, you are a godly. So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything at all. Because all the divine knows is good. That's the good news. All right. As I said, moving into the process of my day. Reverend David will be on sometime this afternoon. I will be back with you after I go to the park. And that's all I can say about that. But it'll be in the 9 o'clock hour. So, hopefully I'll have a good park story for you.